The fastest and easiest ways to complete your weekly quest, we're going to get into a little bit of that, the fallout of the Brutosaur mount and everything that has happened to the WoW economy since, and maybe how things could have been even worse. We'll get into some of that stuff, a little bit of promotional things going on with World of Warcraft and the anniversary event and everything else, and a bunch of other news. Let's get into this. So, Celebrating the Good Fun is in fact a quest that you're going to be doing all the time. Every time basically that your buff falls out, this thing's going to be re-available for you. You can do it multiple times a week. Now, you're only going to get the bronze for this event, for completing this quest, once a week. So getting those 3 bronze is important, getting towards that tier 2 set and everything else. But it's also important to continue to do this event because it gives you the rep bonuses and everything else. And the main thing is you also want to complete it to get that final mount, that Phoenix Icy Boy that they're giving us out. Anyways, there are a couple easy ways to get this thing done every week. So the Celebrating the Good Fun quest basically is like a percentage bar that you fill by just doing, all the anniversary stuff, whatever it is, the mount off, the story time thing, the dress up shit, whatever it is, you get progression. But there is a fastest and easiest way to do this quest, and I'm going to tell you guys how. So if you don't know who Petra is, she is the little pet girl, she's the cat lady of WoW, whatever you want to call her, sitting in the corner of the anniversary area. And she has this little treasure chest next to her. If you click on it, you'll get this pet mirror, which actually allows you to become a pet. Now, this being your pet thing gives you the ability to pick up, these zoomy treats, right? And these treats can be found all around the anniversary event. Here's some locations of them right here. And every time you get one of these, you actually get 1% towards the Celebrating Good Fun quest. You also get a little bit of a speed boost every time you pick one up, so you can really start to fly around and grab these things. Basically, it should only take you a couple minutes to gather up 100%. Yes, one at a time. You might think, wow, that seems like a lot, Sam. But no, you get so fast that you can, in fact, do this in a couple minutes. They respawn after 30 seconds, so there will be no wait time. You make it around, you keep getting them, and you will complete your Celebrating Good Fun quest. Now, if that's too much, you don't want to run around in circles, you don't want to be a pet, you don't want to be a furry, I completely understand. There is another way to do this. You can still become a pet, but you're not going to have to look at yourself, because you can actually hop into one of these baskets, and you get 1% towards the Celebrating Good Fun achievement just for sitting in the basket over time, and it keeps ticking. It keeps ticking. Now, this will take a little bit longer than running around and grabbing the treats, but the cool thing is you could just sit and do nothing. Take a nap, do whatever you want. Now, every 10 minutes, you're going to essentially have to go back and redo the pet mirror thing to keep yourself in a pet form. But, I mean, if you basically figure you could just be AFK working for the day or whatever it is, and just sit in one of these baskets and get your Celebrating Good Fun quest done. So those are the 2 best ways to do it. Of course, there are other ways to get it done. You can always do one of these time-walking dungeons, get 25% towards that, so completing 4 of them will cap it for you. There's a bunch of other ways, but if you just want to be the lazy degenerate that you truly are at your core, this is the 2 easiest ways to get this thing done. Now, moving on to the biggest event that happened last week, the Brutosaur. That's right, the big boy Brutosaur, the $90 mount. If you haven't heard about it, I mean, do you even play WoW at this point? It was made available last week, and it completely crashed the WoW economy because people were buying WoW tokens and converting them into Blizzard balance and then buying the mount, right? So if people don't know that you can do that, you can, in fact, use your gold in-game to convert it into Blizzard balance and spend it on the Blizzard store through the WoW tokens, right? So people were doing that, and it was causing crazy inflation on the WoW token prices. In fact, here are the final numbers that came in from the Brutosaur complete event thing, whatever you want to call it. So in the EU, the WoW token actually almost hit 500k gold. That's insanity. Here on the NA servers, capped out at about 340 something, I think was the 340k something. So yeah, I don't know what's going on in the EU. I don't know, you got a lot of sugar daddies out there or something. You guys have a shit ton of gold. But anyways, that was pure insanity. Currently, when this article was written, they were sitting at 445k on the EU. But things have kind of bounced back, stabilized, bounced back up again. It's going to continue to do that for a little bit. Now, when you look at it, in total, this mount actually still costs less in gold than the big boy Brutosaur, the original, the green boy, right? The original long boy, green boy that existed back in BFA, which was 5 million gold. In total, even around the cap formations, that were happening with the WoW token, this mount was really only costing people 2.1 million gold, and on the EU, it was 2.6 million gold. So almost 50% less for a mount that looks much cooler, to be honest with you. I mean, the green boy is cool, he's an original, but man, The new big black boy. Oh my god. Yeah, for 2.5K, which is essentially half the price on the EU and less than half on the NA servers at 2.1. That's not a bad deal if you're a big time gold farmer and you got a shit ton of gold. So it did cause backlash. Obviously, some people were angry. Currently, this thing is kind of stabilizing. Basically, you'll be able to probably get this between 2 and 2.5K, or 2 and 2.5 million gold if you're looking at the current WoW token prices. As I said, for people who have a lot of gold, that's not a bad price, much better than the original. And hey, it's a freaking gorgeous mount. I mean, say what you want about the damn thing. It does look pretty good. So the fallout, the craziness, the everything that happened. But could it get worse? Well, it sure did in China. Looking here at the insanity that has occurred in China, they're used to different things there now. This is a different world, right? They're used to paying for shit. They're used to handing out dough for in-game things. And the record has been hit. That's right. NetEase, right? And WoW, for WoW in China, they're the partner company in WoW for China. And they give the people the ability to play WoW in China because you always got to partner up with somebody thanks to their governmental rules out there. They released a $265 flying version of the rare Spectral Tiger mount, which can be used in retail, classic, SOD, and hardcore. Absolutely insane. Yes, it's not that great looking. It's literally what I'm saying it was. It is a flying version of the Spectral Tiger. Absolutely insane. Yeah, $265 is crazy. Obviously, the Spectral Tiger is one of the known, glorious mounts from back in the day from World of Warcraft. It's always been one that people have loved and admired. And this price, this is like a complete just, highway robbery. Basically using one of the best known mounts in the game, adding some flying to it, and then charging an upcharge for it. Now, they had already released the original Spectral Tiger, and the nice thing is they're being nice to you. If you had bought the original Spectral Tiger, you actually only have to spend $85 or $95, which is the difference between this Spectral Tiger and the flying version of it. $82 is what you would have to spend to get the flying version if you've already purchased the regular version of the Spectral Tiger. So all in all, was the Brutosaur absolutely insane at $90? Yeah, but shit, you got the money, go ahead and buy whatever the hell you want. But just be happy, I guess we don't live in China, where $265 is now the cap for a store mount. Yeah, I would buy that. I'm sure there are people who would. I wonder how many WoW tokens this would take. We'd have to do some reverse math on that. But yeah, crazy interesting. A flying Spectral Tiger for $265. You want to hear something crazier? WoW Reforged is coming. Yeah, that's right. Triple Reforged, double Reforged, whatever you want to call it. It looks like Warcraft Reforged is relaunching. And yes, the craziness, the debacle that was the original Reforged was insane. WoW Refunded, as they called it. I should say Warcraft Refunded. But there are many hints hinting at the fact that Blizzard is doing something with Warcraft Reforged. Let's see what these hints are. We already know that these things are coming on the trading post, right? We've seen this before. We're going to get these in the upcoming trading post here where you can buy, the human, the orc, the night elf, and the undead. You got your original classic Warcraft, races, right? That's what these have to do. So that in and of itself might not be a good hint, but this one is pretty interesting. So recently we saw some mount changes. So you guys know the Night Saber that was made available for the Horde and the Wolf that was made available for the Alliance. We've seen these before, but recently what was tagged as being trading post items has been changed to promotional items. So these two mounts were changed to something that has to do with a promotion now. What that promotion is, we don't know yet, but it would be very interesting if it was also tied to this. Now, these two things attached might not mean something to you, but we recently saw the $30 bundle of mounts, which also included the classic WoW races. It included a mount for the humans, the night elves, the orcs, and the undead. Also very much tied to the Warcraft original story, and also very much hinting at a return of Warcraft Reforged. And the final thing, probably the most interesting part about it, is this one right here. And this is the fact that Warcraft 3 PTR was recently updated. Why? We have no idea. Obviously, they're doing something. They're working on something. This was data mined and then taken down a little bit later. But it looks like Warcraft 3 is in fact getting something related to an update, whatever that might be, a relaunch, who knows, but it could mean that in fact, again, we're getting reforged once again. Good morning. Answer my question. What is your question? How much to have Sam on his hands and knees meowing a solid 10 minutes. Don't judge me and my fetish, Sam. I'd have to think about it. I have to look at the current balance of the WoW token, figure out how much it would cost you to see that actually happen. But I'm a man of honor, a man of the people. It'd be a tough one, but every man has a price. Who knows? Blizzard's press site also hinted at this thing, dropping a Warcraft 30th logo, right? And then now that logo is now related to the Warcraft 3 Reforged site, right? So there's something about the logo now being a representation of the Warcraft 3 site, which is very interesting again because it's basically the dead RTS Reforged version, but they are updating the site now for the anniversary event. And then finally, if we look at this key art, right, where they released this thing and everyone was looking at it, okay, and these characters on here might not mean anything to you. You got your classic WoW characters, of course, you know, Illidan, Arthas, Sylvanas, yes, but the interesting thing about this is Thrall. We got Thrall and Jaina, Medivh, I should say. Thrall and Tyrande, though, are mounted, right? And they are mounted in Warcraft 3. That's their classic-looking version of them. We've seen them on their mounts before, just like this. And when we look at the chart, yes, look at that. The mounts they are riding are indeed a one-to-one match to the mounts they ride in Warcraft 3. So again, I mean, with all these hints together, any one of these by themselves might not mean anything, but all of them together do seem like we're getting something in terms of a reforging of the Reforge of Warcraft. I sent you some big news on Discord, Samicus. You should check it out. It's about a new mount. Oh, shit, I will. I'll check that out for sure. Moving on to some Mountain Dew stuff here. Yes, the Mountain Dew promotion, which I talked about not too long ago, that I knew it was going to be some type of hint in terms of Mountain Dew happening. This is a very interesting one. Mountain Dew, we know the promotion's going on. You'll be getting promotional points starting, what is it, November 4th? And you can use these points, go to DoritosDoRockstar.com and enter the points. And when you enter those points, you can in fact get a cool little items here for both Diablo, some gear, some different transmogs. And then for World of Warcraft rewards, you can get the Lil Ragnaros, you can get the Hateforged Blaze Cycle, which we looked at not too long ago. Yes, this is the badass looking Blaze Cycle, the Mountain Dew green, the red here. It's a very good looking mount. You'll be able to get that just by drinking the acid and sugar that is Mountain Dew. Put that into your system, get the promotions, and get the mount. This should be a pretty cool one for anybody who's been looking at getting this mount once again. The first time I've seen this available in this colorway, so pretty cool little event there. Also, they're doing a support Cure Duchenne's thing going on. If you haven't seen it on Netflix, there is the Mats Iblenstein, Norwegian WoW player. Yes, it's a very cool documentary. I haven't seen it, but I've seen previews about it, and it's pretty darn cool. This little promotion that they're doing here, actually all the money made goes to Cure Duchenne's, I believe. Don't quote me on the all the money, because we never know if they're siphoning a little bit off the back end. But it does give you a cool little thing here. You can get the pet and the little backpack, which actually is a little butterfly. Look at that. I mean, adorable. Adorable, guys. Yeah, so if you want to go ahead and support the cause and get a cool little pet slash backpack thing, you can also do that. It's a nice little cause, and I've heard a lot of good things about this Netflix series. I'll have to go check it out. Finally, the Hallows End event is kicked off in World of Warcraft. Obviously something very interesting that we always want to be a part of. Go do the trick-or-treating. Go do the Headless Horseman stuff, all of that. And now added on is the Trick or Treats Khazalgar, which is the achievement you get for running around Khazalgar and trick-or-treating. And of course, last but not least, thanks to Burning Viking, we have our final piece of news here. New Datamine Flying Mount coming next month. Only $1,000. That's right. Get yourself a flying Dalaran. Just a joke, of course, but damn. This would be a wild one, and I guarantee you there'd be people who would pay this price for this mount.